Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being patient for the delay. And thank you also for tuning into the KQ podcast session. I'm your host, Akona Kompela, and this is the Power Conversation. Tonight's conversation, we are joined by Innocentia Mokgoro, the ever so lovely and beautiful. Now, before we go into depths of our topic tonight and our angle, I just want to remind you guys that we have social media pages that we are on. Please do remember to like, subscribe, and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also we have a YouTube channel. Please do go over there and like, subscribe us, and also interact during the night. For those of you who would like to make use of our marketing platform and our advertising platform, please do send us a text on WhatsApp. Our number is on our Facebook page. Send us a number, send us a message rather, and then we'll get back to you with a book in no time. But without any further ado, I'd like to welcome our guest, Boka, as most of you know her. Thank you and welcome.
My pleasure.
Thank you for
having me.
Thank you for being available to share with us about your initiative. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying it in the wrong order. It's Black Jaguars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Black Jaguars.
It's the Black Jaguars modeling and pageant show.
It's mixed. Yeah.
It's a mixed show.
It's a mixture.
Yeah. I've always actually wondered about shows like that. Can it be a pageant and also a modeling show? But clearly it's possible. It's possible. You've made it possible. You've made it possible. And also what I understand is that this won't be your first time having it. You had one a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And it was very well attended by the community. Okay, but this is not an interview about me. This is an interview is about you. So you can go ahead, introduce yourself to our viewers. You can talk to me as well, and just explain to us, who you are, a little bit of background, and why you do this.
Okay. I'm Innocentia, as well known in Priska Boka, by the nickname of Boka. I'm a modeling coach, and I'm also a makeup artist. I did modeling back in 2017. Actually went very far. I modeled for Denim Place, I modeled for Summer Heat.
Wow.
I went very far and I made it. So yeah, that's basically me.
Yeah.
In Innocentia, as they know me.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you have a modeling and a pageantry show this coming up weekend.
Right.
Right. And can you tell us a bit more about that? Again, it could be, the inspiration behind it. Why do you do that? Like, obviously you're a model, but
yeah. The inspiration behind this whole thing, basically, as I said, I'm from Priska, right? And I just kind of felt like, it's a need to do this because a lot of kids actually have talents in this place, but they don't actually take it serious.
Yeah.
So I kind of decided, let me just come up with something because I know there's a lot of talent here in this place. And the reason why I did this is because of most young kids, they just go for clubs and all of that. They don't see their interest in what they want to do. So I decided, let me just do this opportunity for my hometown and for my community and for the kids that actually want to get by in life. Others doesn't know how to start, where to start.
Yeah. So
I came up with this plan, let me do this for my community. Let me do this for my hometown kids. It's going to be much more easier for them to start. So I actually take this journey. It's actually based on, I'm not working alone, I'm working from the Gauteng side, which is Space of Devotion. So they asked me to do this. So they're working with all the provinces, but Northern Cape was not included until they actually asked me to do this thing. And I was quite excited about it, right? I was very excited. I'm like, what, this is a big opportunity for my place. It's gonna bring us out, So I actually went for this journey and I'm like, what, let me just do this.
Yeah.
It's going to be very great. It's a very big opportunity. So I took that opportunity and it actually makes me very good. It makes me feel very good about this whole thing,
Yeah.
So for themselves, I could see they literally wanted this. It's just that a picture of they didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
How to start.
The contestants.
Yeah, the contestants, yes. So yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, okay. So giving back. Look at you, pioneer and all those things.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad, man. Like, because I also like, I'm also of the opinion that, yes, let's build platforms for people.
Yeah.
You understand, especially people that don't know where to start.
Mm.
And it seems to me that that is exactly what you're doing with this show, is that you're trying to build a platform for people of interest
Yeah, right.
in this field
Mm.
of expertise. Uh, One thing I think our viewers would like to know, which I'm very curious about, is how many people are participating? How many young ones, and like the age group that you're targeting in doing that?
So right now, the full amount that I'm supposed to be getting was like 40 models.
Okay.
But right now, I only have like 60 models who's going to participate.
60.
60. And it's only girls. But any type of gender can participate in this thing. There's no type of, any size also. And the age group is 16 to 25 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And also, like, how did you choose them? That was the curious thing. Yes, obviously, you're obviously going for a younger demographic because the modeling industry is quite competitive.
Mm.
They don't. It's very ageist as well. They don't go for like older models conventionally, like normally. You understand? So how did you choose the people? Besides the fact that you chose young people, like how did you choose like 30 people or 60 people?
Okay, firstly, I ended up asking on social media for models, right? As I said, 40 models. So I ended up getting the models, and I actually went for an interview, like one of them, one by one, and I actually asked their background, what they did. So there was some of them who actually did modeling.
Okay.
Yeah, there were some of them who actually did modeling. So that's how I actually,
Yes. That's how you pick.
Exactly. So that's actually how I started. So that's why I got my models. And I'm quite happy for the ones that I get.
Oh, the impressive crowd.
Very impressive.
Oh yeah, that's I'm glad to hear that.
Very.
The other thing that I also wanted to talk about is I remember talking to you about this. I think it was 2 weeks back.
Yeah.
And I was very curious when it comes to like model shows and pageantry. Also, given the fact that if it's people from the community, we are a previously disadvantaged community. We don't have money for these things. So I wanted to know whether they'll be wearing their own clothes and what type of clothes, or do they have a designer, or is it that type of thing? Like who will they be wearing?
Actually, firstly, we don't have a design at all. There's also a reason why we're gonna do this show. It's almost like a fundraising thing that we're gonna bring in.
Okay.
Based on the clothing wise, whatever I want them to wear to look all the same. But right now, they're just gonna wear whatever type of clothes they have, their own clothes. There's no designing.
Okay.
They're just gonna wear their own. But we have some type of outfits that they must wear and to look all the same. But right now, we don't have any designers. So far, what we're doing, we're just doing the shows of fundraising for them to have, to look all the same, basically.
That's great. I think it's a really good initiative, and I think it's also a good strategy.
Yeah.
To have them bring their stuff that they have instead of having one girl that has a designer and making the other ones feel a bit excluded from the entire process. So you mentioned something, and this is also very, I think, it's prevalent. It goes without saying that if you have to do fundraising, you're actually looking for sponsors. You're actually looking for people that can help you, that can fund you. So how challenging has that been?
As I said, I'm not working alone in this. I'm working with Gauteng people. The founder is Oscar. Shout out to Oscar.
Oscar who?
Oscar is from Mabuza. He is the founder of Face of Devotion.
Okay.
So they work, as I said, they're working with all provinces. Northern Cape is actually included right now in this year. So they are the ones who's actually sponsoring for us the whole provinces. So right now what I am doing, I'm just doing it on my own. To bring fundraising. So because basically when it comes to clothing wise, they won't be able to help us out. When it comes to clothing wise, you must be on your own. But when it comes to accommodation wise, for the contestants, they will sort it out. When it comes to decorations, they will sort it out.
Wow.
So sponsorships, it's on them. So that's why I'm saying when it comes to that, I don't really have to stress about it. But what I'm doing right now, I'm gonna do it on my own as well.
Yeah.
Because I can literally see most of them are struggling
Yeah.
when it comes to having some type of dresses or whatever. But honestly speaking, when it comes to that side, it's a hold up.
Yeah.
It's a very hold up. That's why I decided, you know what, let me just do my own thing on the other side. It's
Yeah.
much better the way it can be.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, I get it. Like,
You know?
there's a lot of bureaucracy when it comes
Yeah.
to something that's national,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of red tape
Exactly.
that you have to go through, and they like want to ask you, what is this? Why do you need that?
Exactly.
And all of those things, which also, like, you know, begs the question, you know, if this is Black Jaguars, right? Even though it's like, you know, under the umbrella of Face of Devotion, it's your own thing. You are here trying to fundraise. It actually reminds me of when I was back in varsity. We had Mr. and Mrs. Rag on campus.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was still part of the university. The university would give you things.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to do things by your own, like say for instance go to a charity and go hand over something, you would have to go find sponsors yourself and, you know, do fundraising yourself and all of those things because it was a charitable organization. So now for you, my question to you is, being at this, like, you know, the teething phase, like, you know, the baby phase of your, you know, your creation, where do you want, like, if you had to compare it to existing modeling and pageantry shows or foundations, organizations that already exist? So here's Booker. Where do you want to be? Who do you compare yourself? Like, what is your goalpost? Like, who is, like, you know, which is it? Miss Essay? Is it? I don't know, because I think Miss Essay is also like it's the same thing because they're also a designer.
They kind of.
Yeah.
They kind of.
So where do you want Black Jaguars to go to, and like, what do you see Black Jaguars being at the end?
Okay, from my point or from my side, I'm not gonna lie, those people, those kids, they have a lot of confidence and they're very talented. They can actually go very far as for how I'm seeing it. So where do I want them to be? Like literally in my mind, or what I know, they can go very far. As if I'm saying very far, they can literally go and be in the industry of modeling. They can actually be taken by agencies. That's how good they are. That's why I'm pushing them so much to get where I want them to go. Because basically right now what's going to happen, they're going to basically travel as well.
Okay.
So if they travel, agencies can pick them out based on how good you are. So where I'm seeing them, I want them to be on the top.
Yes.
So when I'm saying on the top, I want them to be on boss models,
yes,
ice models,
yes,
rich models,
yes,
denim police, where I was involved.
So
it's not actually hard to get there. As long as you just have the confidence, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. That's where I'm pushing them to get wherever they want to. They can literally get where I want them to be. Okay, not Miss Essie, but they can be in the industry of modeling.
Yes.
They can advertise whatever, they can do whatever. But that's where I see them. You know.
Yeah, and that's work. That's work.
It is.
And I remember your other namesake, also from Priska. She was also in that industry.
Yeah, she was. We actually did that together.
And yeah, you guys did together. I remember, and I was so proud of you guys. That was such like Priska kids in catalogs. You know, that's inspiring. So, you know, and that's why, you know, today's angle was about, you know, inspiring confidence in young people. Why do you think it's so important? Obviously, we know why it's important, but I think, you know, some people might look at this initiative of yours and just think, well, it's better if the kid just goes and study or, you know, do this or do that and get a job. But I believe that being a model also requires focus and determination, right?
It's also part of having a job.
It is a job. It's a job.
Yeah, it's basically that.
But then, other than just having a job, why do you think it's important for them to have confidence growing up in, let's say, a Timmy?
Honestly speaking, our young kids nowadays, they don't have the confidence in themselves. the reason why I'm saying that is because they have a lack of doubt of themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk of experience. I was there. I didn't believe in what I ever wanted to do. I actually doubted myself a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, I doubted myself so many times until I realized, you know what, I'm actually good in this thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let me just continue and see where I'm getting far. And I actually went far. So I feel like kids of nowadays, like the ones that we're dealing with right now,
yeah,
as I said before, they don't care about their talent. They just go for whatever they want to, whether it's just a club or a tavern, they don't care whatever they have. So I feel like it's an inspiration for like the other kids, like just stand up and be like, you know what, I want to do this. Because people, like the people that I'm working with now, the contestants that I'm working with now, I'm not gonna lie to you, we were more than 16. Most of them came back to me because they said like, you know what, I can't do this.
Oh man.
Why? No, I don't feel like I'm good at this. I'm like, then why did you
Yeah.
sign up with this thing? I feel like the confidence is the aim, it's the main thing. The moment you have confidence, then you'll be able to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
As long as you believe in yourself what you're doing, you'll be able to do it. You know, because if you have a lack of doubt of yourself, it's not gonna work. You know, so I feel like me, the reason why I did it is because I wanted to raise up Priska's name.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be like, you know what, let me do this. I'm not only doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my hometown.
You're doing it for your community.
I do it for my
that's
community,
very admirable.
you know.
I think it's very
And
admirable.
I was quite happy for doing that because I actually found out or realized, you know what, this was actually a good idea that I was doing. Because people literally came to me like, can you help me, you know? I want to do that. How did you start with this? How did you get there? And it's quite melting. It was melting my heart to feel like, you know what, this is actually what I wanted. I never thought I was gonna be there. And I made it, you know. Till now people are coming to me, you know, how did you start with this whole thing? You know, you're not a model anymore. But even people are like to a point where like you can still go back to go and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And honestly speaking, right now, as I'm saying, I'm a coach. I'm no more in the type where I want to do modeling. I'd rather prefer doing coaching because I actually love it. I've never done coaching, but
that's the first time everything was
this is the first time that I'm actually trying. This is the first time.
It's actually making me think of America's Next Top Model. Tyra wasn't a model anymore,
you
and
know,
she was coaching.
Exactly.
She's recruiting these young ones, also trying to.
So it's very inspirational. Like honestly, like I've noticed also whether people are doing that, more people will come out of their shells to whatever they wanted to do because they were just doubting themselves.
Yeah.
You know.
So at the time when you were doing modeling, did you find it very difficult?
No. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't find it difficult because of why? I actually knew what I was doing. And I knew what to do.
And you had the confidence to do that.
Exactly. I was already into that.
Into that.
Yeah.
And
so
like
I knew
any challenges and difficulties?
I took it as it is.
As it is.
As it is.
But what would they be typically? What would be the challenge of a young Priska girl or boy going to Johannesburg? You know, Johannesburg is the fashion capital of South Africa. Like, what are the things that we have to look out for? You understand? Like, if, like, you know, I know a lot of us are not very, excuse me. I know a lot of us are not very well traveled and also not too exposed in this industry. Even if you want to go do this, you might not be too exposed in it. But what do you think that they have to look out for in your experience at the time when you were doing modeling? Like, what do you think is a red flag, a stop sign, a turn left, a turn right? Like, what did you experience in that?
Oh, actually, when it comes to a red flag, turn left.
Yeah.
It actually, like, when it comes to that, it depends on your agencies. If you want to sign up with an agency, you can't just sign up with any type of energy. We know, sometimes it's scam. You know?
Yeah.
So with me, when I went there, you must first do research before you're going to go and do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, you must know which type of agency would you go and sign up with, and where will that be. So if you would just go and sign up with any agency, that person might just scam you because obviously money is involved, right?
Yeah.
So when you have to look out, firstly is your agency. You must be very sure about the agency that you're working with. You can't just sign up with any type of agency. You must actually know this person. That's what I'm saying. first do your research and see, okay, what type of agent this is, what they are doing, what type of work they are doing. Because when it comes to modeling, you don't just do runways. You do photo shoots, you advertise, whatsoever type, but it depends on you, what type of model you want to be. So if you say you want to be an advert for Denim Police example, then you must know what type of agency you're going to sign up with. So there's different type of agencies that we all know are very lot in Joburg. So you must be very careful when it comes to agencies.
So it's agencies scamming.
Yeah,
right.
They can scam.
So wait, when you have to join an agency, you have to pay.
Yeah, you have to pay. And also there's some of the agencies they're gonna make you a Z card or a profile.
Oh, okay. So that's what you pay for.
Yes, they will. Or you can. What I'm saying is that you can pay, or you cannot pay because sometimes they will make you a Z card and they will make you a profile, and probably maybe you can pay afterwards. But to go and be part of that, you must pay.
To join. Okay.
Some of them won't charge you. They will just you must just pay for your Z card or for like your profile.
Yeah, some of them will just be like, oh, no, we see the talent and we want to recruit you.
Yeah.
And that's basically what you want to do. You want to create like this agency pool where you groom these young ones, and if they get exposed eventually into the industry, that boss models or eyes, I know eyes in fact, they will contact you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that girl, or that boy, we like, his work, and then they get to you.
Exactly.
Okay, and so for the time that you've been doing this, how long have you been doing it?
I think I finished 2016. From 2017 I did it till 2019. Yeah, that's what I was doing the whole time.
Okay, so you were doing modeling from 2017,
2017 till 2019. Yeah.
Okay, so that's like good 2.5 years, maybe. Okay, and so the Black Jaguars, when did you find that? Like, when did you establish that?
I think it was last year.
Okay.
Early last year. It was early last year when I actually started with them. Yeah, it was in last year.
And in this year, you feel like you've seen
a lot of progress.
Yeah, progress, yes, and also not just in terms of like them being able to strut down the runway, but also you see what you believe in, like the purpose behind this thing.
Yeah.
It's reflected.
It's very.
You've seen like girls, grow their their confidence being built.
Yeah, even like the reason I'm saying there's a lot of progress. Literally, girls that couldn't even walk in heels. I actually teach them, and there's a lot of progress. There's a lot of difference. There's a lot. I can actually see my work.
Yeah.
Literally, I can see that. Okay, you know what? You did this. So that's what I'm saying. That by this time, there's a lot of progress that I've been seeing with the kids. Like honestly, they're very talented. And the one thing that I teach them is like confidence. Whenever you come to rehearsal, don't come with whatever mindset. Come positive. Be energetic, have the confidence.
Be
disciplined as always.
Okay. I think it's a good initiative. I remember back in the day, we would have maybe not fashion shows. I think fashion shows are very new for us these days.
Yeah.
They're very new. Like people know and again stop. Stop too. And stop and then you have to be crowned, princess number 1, princess number 2, princess number 3. Like, how much different is it from stop? It's still a pageant, but it's modeling. Modeling comes in now as well. Will there be judges this weekend? Will you be judging people? Will there be prizes handed out, that sort of thing? Or is it much different from what I'm thinking right now?
Right now, it's much different. Right now, the reason why I don't have judges right now is because of I actually want to crown them all as Miss Confidence, so I don't want judges. I want to crown them all as Miss Confidence because I want them to believe, hooray, I have this confidence. And yeah, it's much different. I'm not gonna lie, I'm making it really different. With judges, okay, I will, at some time I'm gonna probably get judges, but for now I don't want judges. I just want, it's almost like I just want a show. Like they must just,
Yes.
they must just feel free and
break out of their shells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's that type, you know. So as I said, it's mixture. It's pageant modeling. So they must just feel free. It's almost like a runway show type of way. You must just, you know. So I don't want judges right now. I want them to feel free and to get used to the audience. How much audience are there? So by the time when there's judges, even based on questions, I'm gonna get there. They must know what to be asked and they must know how to answer back. So for that, I think I will get there. But for now, let me just let them be, feel free, and have the confidence. So there won't be any judges, there won't be any prizes. It's just crowning as confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, just that.
So it's basically you're just trying to expose them, like, you know, give them a little bit of a sense of what it is like walking in front of people. You understand? Whether it's advertising something, whether you want to walk in front of people. You understand? You just want to like make them show. Listen, show them like, you know, listen, this is what it looks like.
Exactly.
Or this is almost what it looks like. It could look better. You know, are there going to be flashing lights, cameras? Not really. Oh, you don't want to overwhelm them yet.
There won't be camera. We will get there. Trust me, we will get there. We will get there.
Oh, that's great, man.
It is.
It's a great initiative. I like it. I like the idea. Especially the fact that it's not like a normal conventional
thing. And when last did we have that in our hometown? You know, we I feel like we normally have like those dance talents, singing talents. You know what? We used to have that honestly back in the day. But right now, it's just my DJ is coming, this DJ is coming. You know, and I feel like why don't we just
wasted talent?
It's not even wasted talent. I feel like why don't we just get back to what we used to do back then?
Restoring the culture.
You know, just. But I don't know. It's people's choices, I guess.
Yeah, no, but I like it is. You know, it's probably people's choices. But I think also what you said was very significant. It was very important that you mentioned. You know, like restoring the culture is that maybe they don't have options. You understand? What am I going to do this weekend? There's nothing happening. I'm not part of any program because I remember, like, I was part of a dance school. In the dance school, like, you know, I don't know what happened. I used to dance. Oh, wow. Listen, foxtrot, the tango, the jive, all of those things. I would do those things, you know. But it was really good. But what I wanted to say was that if you were part of a program and not bored, because if you're bored, and especially if you're a young adult, you are easily motivated to go where everybody else is going, because you don't have anything to do. But I remember very distinctively back in the day, over weekends, okay, well, I was still very young. I couldn't really go out. I had to say, listen, I can't dance to this and he dances so proof of you, so can you like to sneak it and say, no, I'm going, like, you know, going to the dance, practice, and then go to Royals. At the time it was Royals, that's how old I am. And then go to Royals, or go to Pairs, or, you know, you didn't go to Visa. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that at the time, you were not bored enough to be motivated to go to all of these places where you could be exposed to substance abuse as a young adult or as an adolescent. You understand? And you know, that went away. It luckily went away when I wasn't here anymore. I was in Boston. But I remember like those like dance schools, they were full. They were
they were very packed.
The kids were excited about traveling and their tours and their fundraising. And I think also that made a lot of them, like a big number of them, made them better students at school. Because you mentioned from 16 till 25, you'll find that, you know, from 16 till maybe 19, they're still in school. You understand? I think the discipline that comes with it makes them better students as well, because at the end of the day, they still are students. You understand?
But I also think today's kids,
today's kids.
With those ones, it's really hard. Like literally, like so, like pageant or modeling. it's very rare for them to join. Like, I'm not gonna like, mind you, there's no boy. It's only girls that I'm having. Like literally, there's no guys. It's just boys. I mean girls. So I also feel like today's kids, like today's generation, it's very different. I'm not. A lot of things have changed.
Yeah, social media is different.
Yo, people like this, as you said, those days you were this kid, you were dancing, you were doing this. But today's kids, they're not interested in that. They're just interested in clubs, in taverns, whatsoever. That's why I feel like, what, the time when we were doing those type of things, why don't we come forward and do it this time? Let us be the ones who's going to teach them this time.
Yes.
To bring them out of the streets. Like, a lot of things are happening. Rape is happening. Like, a lot of things. So it's better just to get them out of the streets. But as I'm saying, today's kids, they don't really care about such things. They just want to drink and do whatsoever where they feel like it's...
Yeah, self-accountability. And I think this is what you're trying to say also, is this is where we have to hold ourselves accountable as the adults in the room.
Exactly.
You understand? Instead of... Also, I had this conversation with a friend of mine. I think it was on Monday. Yeah, it was on Monday. About, accountability as the grown-ups in the room now.
Yeah.
So back in the day, we had grown-ups.
Exactly.
But now, we have a lack of accountability for the young ones. But it's also like you said, bruh, like these young ones, they're tough, they're tough crowd to to entertain.
Yeah.
They're very difficult to attract or to lure to a nice initiative.
It's very
because I'm also part of organizations, and in these organizations, a lot of them, we need young blood, we need fresh blood. But a lot of times we would find ourselves that the only way we can attract them, is probably through this. And those are the things that we don't generally agree with.
Exactly.
Because they're not socially acceptable. Exactly. You understand? Because they weren't socially acceptable for us. They weren't socially acceptable to us. So I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
In that. If you want to share any details about the show this weekend, I know it's at the Etimedu Hall.
Yeah. It's at Etimedu Hall. It's going to start at 2 till 9. It's going to start at 2 till 9. And the tickets, the prices, we've actually changed it. So the single tickets are 30 rand, and the double tickets are 15 rand, and the door is 40 rand. So yeah, that's basically it.
So basically, we have to bring our jackets. Because it's a cold weekend.
I'm starting so early at 2.
Yeah. Well, can't you start like in the morning? Like as old people, right? Like at 9, I get so tired. I'm like,
that's on you. You can do it before that.
No, if I'm paying, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit there until that thing is finished, even if that means I have to sleep there. Okay, thank you for coming on, man. I really enjoyed chatting to you. I want us, let me just ask our program director, do you still have time?
We have 14 minutes.
Okay, so for that 14 minutes, I really want you to talk about your modeling experience and your glory days. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you went to Johannesburg,
yeah,
right? And the picture I know on you back then when you were growing up, I would never imagine you in a high heel, dog. Like, remember, you never wore a high heel.
Oh, you know what? Let me come into that question.
You were like the sneaker,
Exactly.
braids, like Rabosa way back, and then you go to and then you go to Joburg, and then I go on social media, like because you sent me a message on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that in my DMs, and then I'm like, hey, but who's this? And it's like, hey, Joe, this is Pucker. I was like, because I'm not used to the Innocentia name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is Pucker. Ow, gents. And I'm like, so what happened?
Okay, you know what? A lot of people knew me as this type of fucker that's wearing sneakers, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually liked boys' clothes.
Yeah.
A lot. I used to dress skeletons clothes.
What? Are you coming out with that now?
I used to go like, Chief, yeah man, remember who shot the other one? They're like, no, but you're a girl, like just kidding. I'm not gonna lie, I used to pretend like, I'm lesbian. So I used to go and make people very shy as girls.
Yes.
You know, they're like, no man, I'm not lesbian, just kidding.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm not. You know, so I used to confuse people a lot and I actually love that.
Yeah.
So when they saw me at high heels, this and this, they were quite shocked.
So what happened?
Like, you know what? You know when you go to a city, everything changes.
Okay.
Your outfit change, some of your personality are changing, your whole thing is like
the inspiration is different.
Exactly.
You see someone with something on, you know, I could pull that off.
So, man, do I really have to show you this?
Sure.
So I went to Johannesburg. I went to go do modeling. As I said, I was doing modeling for Denim Police. They actually started in Kimberley. I was doing Summer Heat.
Okay.
It was Summer Heat.
Summer Heat is an agency or
no? It was
is it a brand?
It's also like it's a brand. It's also modeling.
Okay.
With Summer Heat. So from Summer Heat, you will travel. You know, you will travel like let's say for example Pretoria, and you're gonna go and model there. You're gonna there's also charges. They're gonna put you from there, and then you're gonna be the face of Summer Heat. Oh yeah, I was the face of Summer Heat as well in Pretoria, and from there on, that's how I actually got into the modeling industry based on Summer Heat. So that's actually where it started. I was part of Summer Heat, and I was face of Summer Heat, and then they gave you this ticket. Then you have to travel. So. And with them, if you are face of Summer Heat, they will book it into agencies. So any type of agency would literally want to pick you out. They will probably see your portfolio or whatever. They will tell your background. So that's how I actually started. So Denim Police, the agency, wanted me. So that's the time when I had to move from Victoria to Joburg. So that's how my journey started. So what I was basically doing, I was only advertising Denim Police clothes, only denim, nothing else. Denim, it's very stylish, I'm not gonna lie. And the nice part is that they will give you shoes, they will give you the outfit that you were shooting in, from head to toe you'll get for free. So that's how I actually started until they asked me to also do runways. So we actually did runways in Braamfontein, in Maboneng, like in the streets, literally in the streets. You know, so by that time, I actually knew what I'm gonna do. So I was not scared, I was nothing. I was just like, you know what, I'm doing this. So that's how I started my journey. It was very nice. It was a really good experience, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm really pushing for people to go into modeling. It's a really nice job to be doing. And paying wise, if you guys want to know.
I was gonna get to that. To the one thing that really matters to me.
And paying wise,
what does the money look like?
The money is very great. It depends on if you're gonna shoot in the studio or if you're gonna shoot outside.
Okay.
So if you're gonna shoot in the studio for a day, it's gonna be like 3,000 a day only. And if you wanna shoot outside, they're gonna pay you in your account. It's 5,000 because you're traveling, you're getting tired, so you have to change. You have to go do makeup. You have to, those type of things. So yeah, with money wise, it's actually quite well. Like you can actually do everything in that money. And also, the other thing is that with modeling industry, you can literally get very far. Like you can travel very far. Like seriously, if you're
off the continent.
Exactly. If you're taking that serious, you're gonna see where you're gonna end up. You can actually go. They can actually take you for hosting, whatsoever. It just depends on how good you are. They're testing you for everything. Even with makeup, they will test you for makeup. But the other part that I didn't like, when it comes to eating part, you must just be vegan.
Okay. Is it like because of your skin
yes,
or your weight? Or?
Your weight.
Oh, okay.
But with some agencies, you can eat some type of food. But with the one I was with, I get at that time I was very slender.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind the time. I used to love my body. So with that, you can eat a salad, but you can also include the chicken, probably inside of it. So with that, your size must be like 24 or 26. You cannot go further than that. If you go further than that, it's either you go out and you go gym. It's up to you.
Or you fall out of the category.
You fall out
You
of
have
the
to go to
category.
like,
Yes.
plus size one.
Mm-hmm. So your size was to be 23 or 26. You can't go further than that. But actually, it was a very nice experience. I'm not gonna lie, it was very nice. I actually enjoyed myself. It was very fun. I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of celebrities that I've never known. I never knew I was going to see a lot of celebrities like that. And the funny part is that I was staying with celebrities, but I didn't even know them. That was the funny part. I was like, what are you saying? I'm like, dude, do you know that you're actually sitting with a designer? I'm like, sure. They're like, yeah. Until I actually met the designer and introduced myself. We were actually staying together, but yeah, basically it's a very nice experience. You're gonna meet a lot of people. You're gonna do a lot of different things that you've never done before. So yeah, I feel like some of the people must just go try it out and just.
No, I'm glad that we brought up the money thing, because I know there's a lot of parents watching, and they're like, if the child comes to them, other than saying I want to become a teacher, a lawyer, or an accountant, or a doctor, you do not come to me with wanting to be a model.
It just depends on what type of agency.
Yeah.
Because the money or prices they are changing.
But it can be like a sustainable career.
Yeah,
it can be a sustainable career.
Can be.
And before we go, I think we still have like 5 minutes left.
I have a question for our guests. Sorry.
No
I want to know how strict are they when it comes to your height? Because I've tried and they told me that I'm too short. You have the looks, the body, but you're too short. So how strict are they when it comes to your height?
Honestly speaking, when it comes to height, both men and women, a woman and man's height must be 7 point something. You must be very tall. But as I'm saying, it depends on what type of agency. Like for example, the street agencies, like it's those boss models, ace models. But when it comes to just like denim police or grade models, you can go for any type of height or size. They don't mind.
Oh, you mean so like for like your high end maybe like 1.7?
Yeah, I was 6 point something, and they actually took me.
Inches?
Yeah, I was 6
okay, so they also measure in inches?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
they take your whole measurements, your waist, everything.
Literally everything.
Everything they must know. Even with your eye color, your hair color, they must know. Your shoe size, they must know.
Yeah, because like they have obviously a target audience.
Yeah, they must be a lot of measurements. But as I'm saying, Corey, it's not all of the agencies that's like that. But honestly, some of them are very strict when it comes to height. Very strict. I'm not gonna lie. But even with the ones that's not even that height, they are very good in what they're doing. Because some of them, they will just advertise your face alone.
Oh, okay.
Not your whole body. They will just take your face because if you have a smooth face, or even
then you'd be like a catalog.
Exactly. Or you can even go and advertise your calling.
Yeah.
Those type of
Of
things. You can get a lot.
Products,
You can get a lot of money out of it. Doesn't have to be necessarily about your whole body. No. You can literally get rid of your face or your teeth.
Yeah. And I like where the industry is also going nowadays. They're going very non-conventional.
Yeah.
Standard
even like
of
look
beauty.
for like Miss Essie. They used to say you must not have a kid. You must be oversized. Not yet they're taking like oversized people. You must have a kid right now. I was one of those people who wanted to participate in Miss Essie. But by that time, what happened? I had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so like I said, like I'm glad really moving right now, because I follow a lot of models that are not your normal conventional standard of beauty people, because you see nowadays you would find people with albinism.
Exactly.
You understand, going to Paris and doing fashion week for Louis Vuitton, and previously when you have like a genetic defect like that, you understand, they would not even consider you. People with vertigo, you see that thing with this melanin deficiency.
Yeah.
That is also becoming a new thing in the market, like one of the mainstream models of it.
Exactly. Even with those things, what is called spruta.
Yeah.
They love
with
those
freckles.
people.
Yes, it's a new thing. Like those people are on I'm telling you, they modeling for Calvin Klein, Bo Polo, and for those people.
I'm telling you.
And also hair types. It's also different. Yeah, but before we go and wrap this off, I know we don't have a lot of time, but I really wanted to ask you about this. the makeup, right? You have a makeup business, you're a makeup artist as well. How does it flow in? Like, how have you experienced this? Is it like, do you feel in squad time? Are you doing the makeup? Are you doing the girls' makeup? Or do you aspire also to be a makeup artist for models in the future?
Right now, I'm not doing the makeup for the girls. They're gonna have their own makeup artists. But as far as I know what I want right now in my business, I would actually want to go far to a point where I literally have to go and make up like artists. And so far, which I really want to experience. So far, I really want to experience it. But at the end of the day, I know I love makeup. I don't used to, but now I know. And I know what's the aim with makeup. So with me, basically, I would actually love to go and make up celebrities and whatsoever. And that's the thing, I want to aim, like, I want to boost my accounts as well when it comes to my makeup accounts. Because literally, that's where they found us. That's where they are finding us. What is this girl's name? Is it Michali? Or what?
Ndamase. Yeah, she's a makeup artist.
She's a makeup. That's why she is
makeup influencer or whatever.
Very much. She's inspiring me so much. That's why I actually realized, you know what? From her story, I can actually do it also.
Yeah.
From her story is quite interesting, and I also find it very interesting to tell myself, you know what? I can also do this. It's just that as long as I get the support, as long as I just do what I need to do, I'll get there. So, but for now, my aim is actually really to work with a lot of artists.
Yeah, and look at Mithali. I mean, like, she literally started off with these tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it picked up. She knocked it out of the park.
She did.
Oh yeah, she did. Oh, okay. No, that's great, man. I wish you well in all of your endeavors.
Thank you.
Multifaceted businesswoman, multi-business person. I really hope you achieve your goals and your dreams, and that you inspire a lot of young girls from our small town.
Yeah.
Which is not so small anymore, but you still have like a small town mentality.
Yeah.
Vastly in our community. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being available.
Thank you.
And thank you for a nice chat, man. As you guys heard it, this weekend, under the umbrella of Face of Devotion, Black Jaguars, this weekend at the Etemeli Hall at 2 o'clock. You never said how much the tickets were.
I did.
Oh.
The single ticket is 30 rand, double ticket is 50, and at the door is 40 rand. 2 till 9.
2 till 9, there you have it, community. Please, people, please do show up and please do support our homegirl. Her name is Innocentia Mokgoro, and she is going to bring out the best in these young people. Watch. I can hear it, I can feel it in my bones. Just as a reminder, again, for those of you who would like to make use of us as a platform, make use of us while you're but to make use of us and our platform, and our advertising platform and our services, please do contact us on our WhatsApp number. Our WhatsApp number is on our Facebook page. Send us a message and we'll get back to you with a quote in no time. Remember also, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram and on TikTok, and we have a YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and follow us on our various social media platforms. My name is Akona Kompela, and Innocentia Mokgoro. She didn't get that. And this is the Power Up Conversation. Thank you for joining the conversation. Good night, everybody, and thank you for tuning in.